It's quiet now. It came from the blackness. I actually had someone tell me what game I should play next, and it was my brother, so I have to listen to him sometimes. I had no clue what game I wanted to play after Metroid Deluxe. I was thinking about doing Kung Fu, but I was also thinking about holding that off till later. And I was on the phone with my brother, and he was complaining about all the mean, nasty, evil stuff I said about him in Ninja Warriors. You know, all that true stuff about him copying the story down word for word and turning it in for credit. And I told him I didn't know what game I was going to play next. So he told me this one. And I said, okay, I can do that. This game uses the zapper. I don't have a zapper that works on my computer. You can get the zapper games modified to use your mouse as the zapper, and this one uh, is that way, but I can't get it to work right. Every time I try to use my mouse, the shots seem to go way off from where the mouse is. What happens in this game, well, there's a way zappers work, if you didn't know. The enemies on the screen are white dots. When you pull the zapper trigger, oh, actually, yeah, the enemies are black dots. When you pull the zapper trigger, no, they're white. Yeah, okay, that's it, yeah. Alright, so the enemies are white dots on the screen. And when you pull the zapper trigger, the whole screen goes black except for the target locations of the enemies, which stay white for a split second. And then the gun reads whether or not it still has the white hitting the front of the gun. So if you're aiming at the enemy and you pull the trigger, the gun gets lit up by the white square. This is why whenever you're playing a zapper game, you could hold the gun up at a light bulb, pull the trigger, and it will count it as hitting the enemies every single time, as long as there's one on, well, yeah, as long as there's one on screen. If there's not one on screen, obviously you're hitting something that can't exist. And the game, I guess it wouldn't know what to do. Never tried that trick. Very handy with a zapper. A Duck Hunt was one of my favorite games. I was really good at it. I could stand 10 feet back from the television. Well, not 10 feet. Somewhere between 6 or 8 feet and shoot the ducks. Without it, I could just one-handed. I didn't have to sit there and aim either. It was very, very reflexive. I remember in the arcades I also used to play that Police Academy training game, and I was really good at that. Things would just fly onto the screen and my hand would just go right to them and shoot them. I'm also deathly afraid of actual guns, so I'll never shoot real guns at stuff. I can't even stand to have an unloaded gun pointed at me. It's terrible. So this game, I don't remember exactly when we bought this as kids, but I remember playing it a lot. Using the zapper, it's very easy. Using a controller, it's not as easy, but it's not exactly a difficult game. Biggest problem with this game is going to be because I have the controller and I have to move the thing around the screen shooting at people rather than just pointing the gun and clicking. And unlike Kung Fu, this game, while it was for the original Nintendo and is based on an arcade game, this is not as old school as you might be thinking. This is not the, I can't even remember the name of the game, but that one gun game where you shoot the mobsters in the windows. I have that game. I love that game, but that's not what this one is. No. My brother's in the army. Maybe that had some little bit of influence on his choice, but we're going to play Operation Wolf by Taito. I love this music. It's amazing what Nintendo could do with music considering their system's limitations. Alright, so I'll meet you back here and we'll start shooting people. Oh wait, no, let's watch the introduction real quick. I forgot that they had this thing. An Uzi. You use an Uzi.